Nike athletes, okay? So I think that's something to think about when it comes to all the back and forth between LeBron and Caitlin Clark. Also, looks like there's going to be a change, and some might call it a big...
So, what's actually happening here is a seismic shift. Just look at that reaction. It says everything. You've got multiple incredible athletes wearing the same number, and yet suddenly it's Caitlin Clark who has to give up her iconic 22. Think about that for a moment. We're talking about a number that became completely synonymous with women's basketball over the past 2 years. This wasn't just some random digit on a jersey. It's the number Iowa fans literally tattooed on their bodies. The number that absolutely smashed merchandise records throughout the entire WNBA. And now, in a move everyone is buzzing about, she's being asked to step away from it for the Team USA training camp, which is set to kick off in Durham, North Carolina, starting in December.
Case to be made that Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark's 22 is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. I don't think there's even I don't think it's arguable at all. I just think when you think of far and away women's sports, jersey numbers, to be real, I mean, what is, I think Sophie 8, I guess, maybe? But other than that, I have no idea. It's just Caitlin Clark at 22.
But here's where the plot really thickens, where you get that sharp dose of reality. You see, Aya Wilson, a powerhouse in every sense, wears number 22 for the Las Vegas Aces. She's a 2-time WNBA MVP and a legend in the making. Cameron Brink also sported 22 for the Sparks before her devastating injury. And of course, the iconic Sheryl Swoopes made that number famous during her Hall of Fame career. But let me explain what makes this whole situation so fascinating. The truth is, almost no one outside the diehard crowd even realized those other players wore 22 until Caitlin Clark turned that number into the most recognizable jersey in all of women's sports. And listen, that's not just my opinion. That's a measurable, verifiable fact, backed by the explosion in merchandise sales and the wild levels of social media engagement we've seen over the past 18 months.
The problem, there's no arguments with that. I mean, come on. But she certainly has become synonymous with 22, dating back to her historic college career at the University of Iowa and through her WNBA career. Clark isn't the only WNBA star to don the number. Aces forward and 2-time reigning WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson is also well known for wearing number 22, as does Sparks center Cameron Brink. Sheryl Swoopes is also known for wearing that number during her iconic professional career.
Let me really underscore this point, because it's crucial. Before this entire conversation blew up, nobody could casually tell you what Aya Wilson's number was. No one was rushing out to buy Cameron Brink jerseys specifically because of the number she wore. And Sheryl Swoopes. She retired way back in 2010, 14 years ago. So right now, in this moment, the cultural weight and recognition attached to the number 22 in women's basketball belongs to one person, and one person only. And yet, Team USA is making her change it. So what did they do? They handed her number 17 instead. And here's the part almost nobody is mentioning. The real twist in this entire storyline. Not a single player on that Team USA roster is wearing number 22. They didn't give it to the veteran Aya Wilson. They didn't assign it to anyone for this training camp. They simply retired it.
And what they're accustomed to on their professional teams. Caitlin Clark is going to wear number 17 at Team USA training camp. I'm going to tell you this, and I can't believe I'm going to use the word if. When she makes the roster as what should be the starting point guard for Team USA, that Team USA number 17 jersey about to sell. Woo-wee. They're going to be gone in months.
And that's the exact moment when this whole situation shifts from a simple roster detail to something far, far stranger. Look, Team USA does have a standard policy against duplicate numbers, which makes perfect sense for clarity on the court. But when you've got multiple players who share the same number on their pro teams, someone inevitably has to compromise. It's unavoidable. Paige Buchers is changing her number. Angel Reese is wearing 25 instead of her usual 10. Aaliyah Boston is switching over to 30. But think about this. Only one number was completely removed from consideration. Only the number 22 now sits empty on that roster. And that single decision reveals absolutely everything about how USA Basketball is attempting to navigate the incredibly complex politics surrounding Caitlin Clark's undeniable dominance.
So let me see if there's a load in and come up. I don't know how big it's going to be. Number. Okay, number. Right there. Number 17. So who is actually getting 22? Is anybody getting 22? Nobody.
So, think about the optics here, because this is a political masterclass. If they give number 22 to A'ja Wilson, the decorated two-time MVP, it looks like they're making a clear statement about the team's hierarchy. It sends a message that Wilson's incredible accomplishments have earned her the right to keep her number while the rookie has to adapt and fall in line. Honestly, that would have been the safest political move they could have made. But on the other hand, if they give 22 to Caitlin Clark, the very player who made that number an icon in modern women's basketball, it looks like they're crowning her as the undisputed face of Team USA before she's even officially made the roster. That move would have caused a massive uproar among the veteran players who already feel like Clark gets preferential treatment from the media and the league. So what did USA Basketball do? They chose option 3. Give it to nobody. Let the number sit empty. Force everyone to change. It's the ultimate Switzerland approach to a political minefield. And it tells you everything you need to know about how carefully and how nervously they're navigating the Caitlin Clark phenomena. They simply can't afford to alienate the veterans who have been the backbone of USA Basketball for years. But they also absolutely cannot ignore the fact that Clark is the primary reason millions of casual fans will actually tune in to watch these games.
But it's going to be strange seeing Clark in 17. Man, somebody might have saw that as a marketing opportunity, to be quite honest. So LeBron James dropped a video out there on his Instaface, his Instagram. I'm kidding. And they put this video out right here, or these pictures out. And Caitlin Clark responded to these. And there you see the response on Instagram itself. Let me just bring this up because somebody grabbed it. Right there, she responded. And
this is where the marketing side of the situation becomes incredibly interesting. That new Team USA jersey, number 17 with Caitlin Clark's name on the back, is going to sell out in hours. Not days, hours.
Why?
Because Clark's massive fan base doesn't actually care which number she wears. They're buying into her, not the digits stitched onto the fabric. Just look at the proof. When she made the All-Star team in July 2024, her jersey outsold every single other player combined, even though she didn't play because of a groin injury. Her Iowa 22 jersey became the highest-selling women's college basketball jersey in the entire history of the NCAA. Her Fever 22 jersey shattered WNBA merchandise records within her first month in the league. Number 17 is about to become the second most iconic number in women's basketball for one simple reason: because she's the one wearing it. But there's another dynamic happening that people aren't appreciating enough. LeBron James posted a montage on Instagram celebrating his 23rd season, just photos of him playing, captioned, Year 23. And Caitlin Clark responded with a single powerful word, King. Kevin Durant commented the same thing, but Clark's response hits differently because of everything LeBron has been doing behind the scenes. He has been one of the most vocal, consistent NBA superstars, supporting her throughout her entire rookie year. When she was being physically targeted by opponents in May and June, LeBron spoke up. When media personalities questioned whether she deserved her massive popularity, LeBron publicly defended the impact she was having on the game. When the Olympic roster controversy exploded in June 2024 after she was shockingly left off the Paris team, he was one of the very few NBA stars who went on record saying she absolutely should have been included. And here's why that support matters so much: they're both premier Nike athletes. LeBron holds one of the most lucrative shoe deals in sports history. Caitlin signed an 8-year Nike deal in April 2024, worth a reported $28 million, the richest shoe contract in women's basketball history. So when LeBron promotes Clark, He's not only being a supportive peer, he's also protecting Nike's enormous investment. He's helping ensure that the next generation of basketball fans stays firmly inside the Nike ecosystem. If Clark becomes the undisputed face of women's basketball for the next decade, Nike wins big, and part of LeBron's legacy becomes helping build that bridge. But there's something else happening. LeBron is 40 years old. He has missed multiple games this season with injuries. The Lakers are struggling. Everyone in the sports world knows this is likely his final season before retirement, or before he accepts that rumored $200 million offer to play 2 seasons in Saudi Arabia. So when he posts, year 23, and Caitlin replies, King, it feels like a genuine passing the torch moment, the biggest star of his generation being publicly acknowledged by the biggest star of the next. And that matters because of who isn't doing that. NBA players have been tripping over themselves to praise Caitlin Clark. Steph Curry applauded her range. Damian Lillard compared her deep shooting to his own. Draymond Green defended her during the physical targeting. Jason Tatum called her must-watch TV. The list goes on and on. But do you know who has been noticeably quiet? A significant number of WNBA veterans. The very players who should be celebrating the attention she's bringing to their league. The players whose salaries are rising because of the tidal wave of interest she has generated. The players now getting more media exposure because she's making the WNBA relevant to mainstream sports fans. Instead, we got the dark side comments. We got the excessive physical targeting that went far beyond typical tough play. We got the passive-aggressive posts about real hoopers versus media creations. We even saw veterans questioning whether she deserved Rookie of the Year despite delivering one of the most historic statistical seasons ever. And that divide reveals something deeply uncomfortable about how the WNBA has responded to its biggest star. Think back to the All-Star game in July. Caitlin was injured and couldn't even step on the court, yet her jersey still outsold everyone else's. Fans wore her number. The broadcast mentioned her repeatedly. And you could sense the tension from certain veterans who felt overshadowed by someone who wasn't even playing. None of that is Caitlin's fault. She didn't ask for that unprecedented level of attention, but it created resentment anyway. Now she's heading into that Team USA training camp wearing number 17, competing for a roster spot on the very team that left her off the Paris roster just 6 months ago. The same team where Aya Wilson, the 2-time MVP whom some veterans believe deserves more recognition than Clark, will also be wearing a different number. The same team where Angel Reese, her famous college rival, constantly pitted against her by fans, will be adjusting to a new jersey too. And all of this is happening while USA Basketball very deliberately avoids giving anyone the symbolic win of wearing number 22. This training camp is set to be absolutely fascinating, not just for the basketball, but for the underlying dynamics. Because based on skill alone, Caitlin Clark should be the starting point guard for Team USA. Her court vision, her limitless range, her uncanny ability to create offense out of nothing, these traits translate perfectly to international play. But will she actually get the chance? Or will league politics and veteran preferences push her to the bench? We're all about to find out. What is crystal clear is that the number on her jersey doesn't matter to her fans. They'll buy the 17. They'll watch the games. They'll support her no matter what. But symbolically, it matters. For a league that has struggled for decades to gain mainstream relevance, they finally have a superstar who can deliver it on a silver platter. And instead of unanimously embracing her, instead of every veteran celebrating what she brings to women's basketball, we're seeing resistance. We're seeing people question whether she has earned her popularity, as if any athlete can control how many fans they attract. LeBron understands what Caitlin Clark represents for the future of basketball. Nike understands it. NBA players understand it. Casual fans worldwide understand it. The question is whether the WNBA establishment will fully embrace it before they let this golden opportunity slip away. Because generational talents don't appear often. And when they do, you build around them. You support them. You certainly don't take away their iconic number only to leave it unused. So yes, she'll wear 17 at Team USA camp. She'll probably make that number iconic too. And when those jerseys sell out in record time, maybe, just maybe, it will finally sink in how special and transformative this moment really is. So, what do you think? Should Caitlin have been allowed to keep number 22? Drop your thoughts in the comments.